Hi there, I'm meteorologist Robert Spetta. We have a new tropical depression located towards the east of Okinawa. We're going to talk about that in just a second. First, recap real quick on Typhoon Hinenor because this storm still having some impacts. Now moving across far eastern Russia, and it did bring some serious flooding to South Korea. Even some reports of landslides, over 20,000 people without power. Ongoing situation there. They're still recovering from that storm, but this is a forecast channel. If you want the latest news, make sure you check their local news agencies there in South Korea. But first, we're talking about this storm. This is a tropical depression located southeast of Okinawa, east of Luzon, and convection really been flaring up in this. I mean, you take a look at water vapor injury, you can see how this goes from nothing, just flares right up. It's got ample moisture down towards the south. The very similar setup that we saw with Hinenor, in fact. Very similar area, tapped into similar moisture. Sea surface temperatures are still warm out here. I mean, this definitely has the potential to grow. And that's why the Joint Typhoon Warning Center has issued a tropical depression outlook on this, moving up to tropical storm. In fact, and eventually a typhoon as we go ahead into the latter part of this week, heading into the weekend, passing south of Okinawa Honto. And once again, Miyako-jima, our friends out there, looking like they're going to be impacted by this storm system. So right now, though, it is still developing. And anytime we say it's still developing, you want to pay attention to the cone of air. That's why we have a cone of air here. Doesn't mean something is going to take that exact center line track. It could waver a little bit. First off, let's take a look at what the ECMWF model shows. And that's what the guidance I use here with these fantastic graphics from Metro Weather Weatherscape. And that actually takes this storm system relatively close to Okinawa Honto with those outer rain bands passing overhead. Now remember, and like we've seen with Hinenor, when it passed towards the south, if this wavers by 50 to 100 kilometers, 30 to 50 miles per se, I could change the conditions drastically from the inner core of the eye wall to just outer rain bands to nothing. There's a big waiver here, and that's why, like I said, you want to continue to check back in, get the latest updates, of course, on this storm system. But my intention here is not to, cause hype or anything, but to inform you on what, the meteorologists are looking at as well. So here's one thing. When we're talking about initial formation, we're also talking about the ensemble guidance. And right here, the SpaghettiOs. I love the SpaghettiOs because it gives you an idea of, kind of what we're looking like at the bigger picture here. And there's a big spread in the ensembles. I mean, you can see that right here. And one of the reasons why some of this is pulling towards the north, some of it pulls towards the west, is because we have a high pressure ridge northwest of it, but there's another low forming south of Tokyo. You can take a look at the guidance. I mean, look at Saturday for the icon, kind of pulls it towards the northeast of Okinawa, ECMWF south of Okinawa Honto, and then the GFS kind of closer to Miyako-jima. Take a look at the overall map here. We have a trough towards our northeast, which is trying to pull away from. Then you have your high pressure ridge over Okinawa. Now, right now, JTWC expects it to round this high pressure ridge kind of down like that towards the south. Very similar track as Hinenor, passing south of Okinawa. But let's take a look at what the ECMWF is showing here. And I want to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about with this trough towards the north, because we could almost have another Fujiwara effect, if you will. Look at the separate low that pops up here towards the north and east, all along this same trough. And watch this. This is unusual. It starts to retrograde. That's because it has a high pressure towards our north, and this could almost follow in behind our system down here nearing Okinawa. Now, what happened with Hinenor when this happened? Well, it pulled the storm south. Well, since the low's here, we could have it waver north towards Okinawa Honto. Fujiwara effect always throws a wrench in these forecasts. If this does develop and gets close enough and gets strong enough, there's a lot of ifs, tons of them, and that's why you want to continue to check back in for the latest updates, guys. I'll keep you posted. I think the Philippines, you're not going to get impacted by this storm system, but you will get that indirect impact with the inflow wrapping it around it. Once again, more rainfall out there. For Okinawa today, Wednesday, rain at times. Yeah, I still got that inflow actually coming from the south. Cloudy conditions as we head into tomorrow. Friday, cloudy, but the winds do start to pick up a little bit by Friday. But it's over the weekend when I do expect those conditions to really start to kick in. Hey, do you like this update? Do you like what we do here at Westpac Weather? Make sure you check out the Western Pacific Weather Facebook page, but also check out our Patreon at Westpac Weather. It's what, makes these graphics possible. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised this many people donate. I'm happy. I'm not surprised, just humbled. And thank you very much for all the support from everybody. I've been doing these updates since 2009. It wasn't until about 2021 I started asking for donations because I wanted to make them look better. If you look back at the old updates, there's always kind of screen captures and me talking to a terrible mic and everything. I'm trying to make these look more TV-like. And that's why we have TV-level graphics here. It's because you guys help support this channel, help make, this possible. So that's all. If you want to help out, it's $2, $6, or $10 a month. 6 or 10 gets you a nice little shout out there. I'm going to start working on more Q&As. I've been meaning to do that. So, and also, if you're watching it all the way to the end of this update, because this was a long one, give me a shout out, at least in the comment section. That helps with the algorithm. If you just, engage a little bit and helps get the videos shared around a little bit, which, helps inform people what's going on. That's kind of the key thing, right? That's the reason why we started doing this originally over a decade ago. So, as always, stay safe out there.